Why do you feel like we get stuck?
That's a good question. So I actually had a video that I posted about this in one of my groups where I talk about how stuck is an illusion. And I don't actually think we do get stuck. I think it's the illusion that we're stuck. And the reason that I say this is because our spirit is always moving. So even if we're stuck in like a physical sense, like our spirit is always guiding us somewhere, and it's just we're disconnected from it rather than connected to it, and that's why we get stuck. But sometimes stuckness is actually just impatience, and it's just a lack of understanding that there's a divine timing to your manifestations, and your prayers are being worked out in the background, and you're not stuck. You're just being put in sort of a holding position until all the elements that you've been asking about fall into place for you, because your spirit's already moving all the time. It's just a matter of you catching up with your spirit or just checking in and being like, wait a minute, did I already do all the things to put this change in motion? And now it's just a matter of waiting things out, because sometimes it is. And that's not stuck. That's just like take a chill pill, go relax, do something different. That's all that is.
Go
So
have some fun.
yeah, go have fun. Stop trying so hard. Whatever the story is, stop working so hard. Give yourself a break. Sleep extra, go play, go outside, get some fresh air, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't even know if I believe that it's possible for us to be stuck if we're super connected to ourselves. I think it's actually impossible, because stuck is just a 3D understanding of our lives. And I
Yeah,
think when you step into the 5D, you're like, well, things are always moving. My body's always shifting. When things are always happening, right? There's the
something's always happening.
sensitivities are always showing me something different. So I'm not, even if my human brain perceives me as being stuck, I don't even think that I'm at a point where I can even believe it anymore. It's like, you're a liar.
But isn't that interesting too, that I'm like witnessing that, and I'm like just feeling even just like the mental pressure of it. And that's isn't that like majority of what that is when you are feeling stuck? I feel like that's such a mental like fog that we're actually feeling. But if you were to drop into your heart realistically, um,
Yeah,
you would see the truth beyond that you're not actually
exactly.
stuck. And I think
No.
it's going back to what you said, the impatience of just like, why can't I like figure
Hmm.
this thing out? Why can't I just have the answer right now? Like I feel like that's when we start feeling stuck, is like
Yeah.
when we're just like trying so hard, and it's like whole like just the patience around it, and also just like there's something else in it too.
Totally. And then there's the people that are procrastinators too, where they don't actually take any risks to get out of their
Mm.
state stuckness. And I think those people have a different experience, where it's not divine timing that they're waiting for, impatience. It's more like a lack of action, right? And I think a lot of people get stuck in that space too, where their spirit's telling them to take a risk, or I call it taking a divine risk. And I have a whole definition for that if you want to get into it later. But essentially, when you take a risk in a way that you're guided, you're going to get something that you are asking for, but you might have to actually kind of release something else in the process. And a lot of people that I find procrastinate or have difficulty taking action don't want to give up that one thing that they're being asked to release, so that they can take that risk and then get to the next level. And so those types of people, I feel like what they need to do is they just need to practice taking even small risks and see how those risks come back. Like take feedback from their experience, because everything is always teaching us. But if we're not doing something, we're not throwing a ball out to the universe, we're not getting any balls back to tell us this is where you're at right now. So it can be very challenging, especially if we lack that self-awareness. So I always just say throw balls out to the universe if you're in a position like that, if you're a procrastinator,
Mm.
and see what happens, because your reflection will show you where your energy's at and where to go next. But if you don't try something, and then it's not going to work, right? So I think there's like two very different types of people. I think you and
For
I are maybe
sure.
more on the impatient spectrum, like to take action, but sometimes struggle with slowing down. And then there's the other people that are just like too slow and struggle to take action. So I think it just really depends on what end of the spectrum somebody is on, right?